यथाग्नेर्धाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिय सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्. My salutations to Holy Mother. She is established in Sri Ramakrishna. She rejoices in Sri Ramakrishna. Like the burning power of the fire cannot be separated from the fire. And also, she is the embodiment of all the wisdom. My salutations to such Holy Mother, Sri Sharada Devi. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, so we were trying to discuss Prakrutim Paramam, a hymn on Holy Mother, which is composed by Swami Abhedananda, the apostle of Sri Ramakrishna. It is a wonderful hymn. If we know little Sanskrit, and whoever has studied the life of Holy Mother, when we sing this hymn with consciousness, then we'll be able to meditate on the Holy Mother, Divine Mother. It is a different type of meditation. Meditation with consciousness, meditation with divine consciousness, meditation with the divine aspects of the consciousness or aspects of Divine Mother. So we were, though 2 or 3 classes is over, but still only we are in the almost first line or the second line of a verse. It is such a profound meaning it has got. So we saw the Prakrutim Paramam, Abhayam and Varadam we were seeing. Varadam means it is the bestower of boons. If you pray sincerely to Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi or to the divine, if you want materialistic prosperity or intellectual growth, mental growth, spiritual growth, or emotional growth, whatever type of growth you want, so that is achieved or that can be obtained by taking the shelter at the feet of Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi or any devotee or any divine. So similarly, Holy Mother herself said once, "Look, my dear children, I've taken your responsibility. Even if you go to hell, I will catch you, I will catch your hair and I will bring you back." Means I will give realization or I will give liberation. I will give the freedom. I will free you from the bondage. So this can be taken for both Abhayam and Varadam. Varadam, she is the bestower of the boons. She is giving the greatest assurance for us. If we take shelter at her feet, even if we go to hell, even she is there to protect us. And Abhayam, she is bestowing the fearlessness. My dear son, don't worry. When you are in distress, just to say yourself that I have a mother. What a great statement of assurance. In the hustle bustle of life, we have to face a lot of adverse circumstances, lot of difficulties, lot of challenges. Then our mind goes down. Emotionally, we go down. We get perturbed. We feel, then what is my fate? Who will look after me? All these things will come into our mind and will be perturbed or startled. Then we can remember this particular 2 words of this hymn, Abhayam and Varadam. She is the bestower of the boons and she is also the bestower of fearlessness. Getting away from the difficulties, getting away from the fear of death or fear of whatnot, losing something. It so happened once, Swami Apurvananda ji, one of the disciple of Holy Mother, I think, He's no more. He's a great monk. He's known for his spiritual advancement. He's a just young chap. He came to Belur Math. He met few monks, direct monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Afterwards, he came to Udbodhan. Udbodhan is a house. It is a two-storied house where Holy Mother used to stay during her Calcutta stay. So he came to Udbodhan to have the vision of Mother. After Sri Ramakrishna's puja, before the lunch, so many of the male devotees had assembled to have the vision, to have the blessings of Holy Mother. People were standing in the queue, one after another they were going, and they used to pay their respects to Mother, and they used to leave. Holy Mother was so shyful in her nature, most of the time she used to cover her face and whole her body with the sari. This Apurvanji also went. He was so much emotively charged with the devotion. He was filled with full of devotion. He went and he paid his respects and he raised his head. So Holy Mother had wrapped with a cloth completely, so there is no chance for him to see her face. But there was an agony, or there was so much pain in the heart. Oh Mother, why don't you give you the darshan? Why can't I see your face, divine face? And why can't I receive your blessings? Please bless me. So that real earningness was there in his heart. So as a result, even tears had started rolling down probably. For his astonishment, he prayed, he thought and he prayed mentally, but just he was about to leave, immediately Holy Mother removed her cloth from her face and she touched his chin and saying that, my dear boy, how are you? There is a prasad arrangement. Please go and have the prasad. Means afternoon lunch. Offered prasad is there. Please go and have it. It happened few moments, few seconds. But that Holy Mother's touch, Holy Mother's touch, Holy Mother's voice, it created a great impact in Swami Apurvanji's heart and in the mind. He felt so much peace. He felt so much solace for himself. And not only that, he was startled. He was startled to see the Holy Mother's face. It is a divine with radiance, spiritual radiance. It is with full of love. It is with full of compassion. It is with full of bliss, eternal bliss. All things he was able to see in her face. And not only that, the interesting fact is, on the same day, early morning he had got up from his bed and he sat for meditation in the Belur Math, in the monastery. There he had a vision of Devi. He had a vision of Devi, goddesses. And he was so impressed and he was so happy because imagine when he sat in for meditation and if someone of us, we get the vision of the Mother, Divine Mother, how we will feel? Definitely we'll feel all happy. So similarly, even Apurvanji had a vision of Mother, goddesses. And now he sees, it is the same. Whatever in the vision, during the meditation, he had the vision of the Mother goddesses. And now he is seeing the Holy Mother's face physically. First time, both are similar. So then he understood, she's nothing but, she's none other than goddesses, Divine Mother, Universal Mother. We all hear this from Sri Ramakrishna's words, from Swami Vivekananda's words, or with someone else. But Apurvanji experienced it. He is none other than Divine Mother, Holy Mother, Universal Mother, who has descended on this earth to uplift us, to protect us. Imagine how he is blessed. And one more devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, Girish Chandra Ghosh. Whoever has read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, every one of us, we know about Girish Chandra Ghosh. He was a great dramatist, and he was so capable, intelligent. He was able to dictate at the same time for two people, two dramas. Like two people are sitting in front, and he's sitting, and in no time, fraction of second, he was able to dictate two drama script. Such a wise person, intelligent person, such a capable person. But he was a drunkard and the chain smoker. He himself says, how much I have drunk in my life, if I keep the bottle one above the other, it surpasses the Mount Everest. Imagine, we all know that Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. It surpasses it. That means so much liquor consuming he has done. And such a person, and he had some bad habits, all these things. He came into the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, and through his divine grace again, he changed his life and he became the greatest, one of the greatest devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. The same Girish Chandra Ghosh, maybe 40 or 50 years before, or when he was a small boy, when he was a young boy or adolescent, there was a deadly disease attacked on him. Unfortunately, many doctors had come. I mean, they tried to examine, they tried to give some medicines, all these things, but none worked. Doctor said, it is very unfortunate. We are unable to treat him properly. God should save him. Otherwise, there is no way out. His days are numbered. So Girish Chandra Ghosh's parents had left all hope about his son. So days are numbered, today or tomorrow or after 2 or 3 or 5 days, we will lose our son. Imagine what agony would have been there in their parents' mind. Even Girish also had lost the faith that I will be leaving and I'll be seeing the world for a long time. My days are numbered. He was on the deathbed, basically. And that night or the next day, early morning, a divine mother, goddesses, appeared. He had a vision that mother is sitting next to him, and she is putting her hand on his head, and she said, my dear boy, don't worry, you will become all right. You have got a long life and you have many things to do. Imagine, he had a vision as an adolescent boy. My dear, don't worry, you will live long, nothing will happen, you have got a long life. It was an adolescent boy, it was a dream, divine dream. On morning when sleep broke and when he got up, for his and for family people's astonishment, the deadly disease had disappeared once for all, and he had become a very normal person. Means normal person in the sense his health was very normal like earlier. Imagine, this is the divine grace, Varadam. She is the bestower of boons. And after 40, 50 years, during his probably nearly 60, between 50 and 60 or even more than that, when he met Holy Mother Sharda Devi first time, accidentally, though he was reluctant, because of his his son, kid, baby, 3 years son, Girish Chandra Ghosh's 3 years son, he pulled him to come near Holy Mother. And out of reluctant and out of maybe a good gesture, just he made pranam to her, and he raised his head and he was able to see the Holy Mother's face, and immediately he was struck with astonishment. 50 years before, I had a vision of goddesses where she sat next to me on my bed and said, my dear boy, nothing to worry. You will have your long life. You will get over by this disease. Don't worry. She had given that assurance. She had given me life. She had given me strength. The same lady, the same goddesses, today I am saying. 50 years before. Probably by that time, even Holy Mother might not have come into the earth even. I mean, she might not have taken even birth. But still, before that itself, this Girish Chandra Ghosh, when he was a small boy or adolescent, he had a vision of mother. And now he's seeing Holy Mother Sharda physically first time, and both faces are resembling, both are same. Not similar, same. Again, bestower of boons. So before her advent itself, she had started her Leela Karya. She had started her divine sport. She had blessed people by removing their difficulties, by removing their diseases and whatnot. So she is the bestower of boons, Varadam, Abhayam and Varadam. She bestows fearlessness and she bestows the boons. Whatever the boons you want, materialistic prosperity or spiritual prosperity, she is there. So then, Nararupa Dharam. Nararupa, human form, Dharam. She has assumed the human form. See, we have also taken the human form. We have also, come to this earth, and she has taken the birth. What is the difference between we ordinary mortals and like Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, Jesus Christ, all these people? We take birth because of our past actions results. Whatever I did, actions in my previous life, either good actions or bad actions, based on that results, I took the birth in this life. So I did actions in my previous life. I don't want to take birth next. If I say or if I decide, I don't have any choice. Because to fructify that, to experience the results of that actions, I have to take birth. It is not volunteer. I don't have a choice. I am bound. But whereas Holy Mother Sharda Devi, she doesn't have any residue of the actions, fruits of action. In her previous incarnation, she had done some actions because that fruits of actions had to be fructified. That's the reason she had to descend on this earth. She had to assume the human form. She had to take the human form. No. Because to help the humankind, to save the humankind, to uplift the humankind, to help the incarnation, like Sri Ramakrishna, she descended on this earth. That's why Nararupa Dharam. She assumed the human form voluntarily out of their conscious decision. For us, there is no conscious decision because for us, no choice. But for them, there is a choice. If they wish, they can come. If they don't wish, they need not to come. So that is the difference between their birth and our birth. Many times we don't understand. Hare, Sri Ramakrishna also had a cancer, throat cancer, and he had to die. Holy Mother had a rheumatism. And she had initially fine, but in the old age, ripened age, she had also wrinkled skin, all these things. Then how can we say, how can we accept her as Holy Mother? Or how can we accept Sri Ramakrishna as the incarnation? This type of questions we do get out. Why all these things comes in their life also? It's because when they take a human birth, human body, whatever the human body has to undergo, the sufferings or the changes, they assume it. To show to the people that, look, this is the nature of the body that will face its destiny, but we can be above all these things. We can be detached and we can be peaceful and happy. How to live peaceful and happy life? How to live the life of detachment, living in the world and living in this body that is shown by their life. So we have to understand. Now, Nararupa Dharam. It is very difficult for common people, ordinary people, to understand the greatness, the uniqueness, the importance, or the divine nature of the incarnations or the prophets. Very few people understood who is Jesus Christ during his lifetime. Only 16 rishis, saints, understood who is Rama during his lifetime. Even very few people understood Krishna. Who is Krishna in reality? So-called Arjuna and all, even so near people, many of them, they couldn't understand who is Sri Krishna. Similarly, even with the case of Ramakrishna, with Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and similarly with the case of Swami Vivekananda also maybe. So until otherwise, if their grace falls upon us, If we have not grown spiritually to larger extent, if we don't have purity in character, we cannot understand, we cannot comprehend the divine. There may be incarnation living in my own family or moving to my next house, but we will not be able to recognize it. That's why Shri Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorchuna. My birth, janma, karma, my actions are divine. Who understands that? Who understands it? Then what happens to them? They will not have any more birth and death. They will be liberated. So why should we try to understand the divine? Why should we try to understand these incarnations? If we can really understand, then there will be no more birth for us. So now the question should come, or the question may come for all of us. How do we know that we have understood their divinity? When we really understand it, that will be translated into our actions. How? By faith, by unswerving faith towards them. That is the reason sometimes to help us, these great beings, incarnations, prophets, themselves, they give a hint. They show some places where, look, we are what we are. So similarly, Holy Mother Sharda Devi also, she had shown to the world, she had expressed herself, she had given some glimpses to the world to make us understand who is she, what is she. Before her advent, before her taking birth, her biological mother, Shamsundari Devi, she had been to her maternal father house, Shihor by name it is called, in the Bengal, in India. And she went to Shiva's temple there, Shantinath temple by name. So she went and she paid her respects to the Shantinath, that is Shiva. And after that she came back, she came out and she started walking again to her house, that is Jairambachi. Because in those days they were poor people, otherwise they could have used bullock cart. Because they were poor, they didn't afford that, they had to go by walk. Since she was walking and it was probably scorching sun and she felt tired and she sat under the tree. Imagine, generally we sit under mango tree or banyan tree or peepal tree or some tree which gives a good shade. But that day, Shamsundari Devi is sitting under a bale tree, bilva leaves. We all know that how auspicious it is. We worship the Lord Shiva with this bilva because Lord Shiva resides there. We all know that. It is very auspicious. And even in Tantra Shastras, they say holy, goddesses Durga, also she stays in Bilva Ruksha. That is a time, Durga Puja time. Whoever knows that Durga Puja rituals, during Durga Puja time on the Panchami day, 5th day, there they invoke Mother Goddesses. Because Mother Goddess is staying there, so the puja starts from there, Bodhan they say. Means they invoke the Mother Goddesses below the Bilva tree and afterwards slowly, they begin worship, they start worship. So Mother Durga also, unlike like Shiva, even Mother Durga also resides in the Bilva tree. We have heard that. We have read in the mythology, and here is a reference for that as a confirmation. The Shamsundari Devi, because she felt tired, she wanted to have a small little rest. She sat below the Bilva tree and just she had closed her eyes and knowingly or unknowingly, she went to sleep. Because probably she was feeling tired and her body needs a rest, she went into deep sleep. After some time, she had a very vivid divine vision. What is that? A young girl, small girl, wearing a red sari with a beautiful golden ornaments. She came down from the Bilva tree and backside of the Shamsundari Devi, she is resting on the back of the Shamsundari Devi, and with her small hands, she is circling the neck of the Shamsundari Devi, and the small child, she is saying, Mother, will you allow me? I would like to come to your house. Imagine, will you accept me Will you accept me? Will you allow me? I would like to come to your house as a daughter. I would like to come to your house as a daughter. Will you accept me? Will you allow me to come? And this poor lady, Sham Sundari Devi, what else she can say? Imagine what a beautiful vision she had. A dream, you can say, vision, what not. And Holy Mother, Divine Mother, Goddesses, Mother Goddesses herself is asking, I would like to take birth, or I would like to come to your house as your daughter. Will you allow me? Imagine Sham Sundari Devi, how much she is blessed. I can just this mention and I can go further, but we should feel it actually. How she is a blessed lady. Divine Mother herself is asking her, please allow me. I will come as a daughter of you in your house. Sham Sundari Devi was startled, astonished to hear this. And by seeing the child face, she understood that she is no more, she is not an ordinary girl. She is a divine lady. She is a goddess. She is Adya Shakti. Just she was looking at her face, she was looking at her radiant face, and because even that golden ornaments was not a small ornaments, not ordinary ornaments. It was with full of luster. So basically, she could understand that she's a divine lady, she's a mother goddesses, she's Adya Shakti and all, but she kept quiet. Then in no time her sleep broke, then she came to senses, then she understood that she has got a divine vision, she had a divine dream, and not only that, immediately she started feeling that she has pregnant, she is about to conceive a baby. Then it took some time for her to understand, come to senses, and she got up slowly and she walked back to Jairam Bhati, to her house. During the same time, there was a poverty in their house. That's the reason to get a suitable job. Her husband, Ramchandra Mukherjee, he had been to Calcutta city in search of job. Again, 60 to 70 miles around, that is 120 to 130 kilometers or more than that. So he had gone by walk. Imagine you can. So he's trying to search for a job, and he was also tired. More or less in the same time. So near where the Ganges river, he went and he freshed himself and he had a water. He drank water, Ganges water. Nearby some tree was there. He sat there just to have a rest. Again, he also went into sleep. He also had a divine vision. He also had a divine vision. A girl, a small girl, wearing a red sari with a, red kumkum, bindu, and with a divine ornaments. She got down from the tree, and similar, she's resting on the back of the Ramchandra Mukherjee. With affectionately, she's holding his neck, circling by her hands, with her hands, and she's saying that, my dear, I will come as a daughter to your house. But she didn't ask. She didn't ask the permission here. She asked the permission for the mother, biological mother, but for father, she didn't ask permission. She only informed that I am coming to your house as a daughter. Then, but there, Sham Sundar Devi, she didn't ask anything, any question. But Ramchandra Mukherjee, he asked, who are you, my dear? You look so beautiful. So with the radiant face and such a thing, I've never seen such a girl. I've never seen. Who are you? Then she only said, my dear father, I would like to come to your house. And she disappeared. Then again his vision got broke and he started thinking there itself, who is she? She doesn't look that ordinary girl, ordinary lady, ordinary baby, ordinary mortal. She's a great lady. She's a mother, looks like she's a mother goddess. Probably she was a Devi. And why did she say that I would like to come to my house? Even lot of questions was lingering in his mind. But again, he got up and he went in search of his job, and he came back to his house after some time. After some time, when he came back to his house, then he was astonished to listen. He was astonished to listen that even her own, wife also had the similar vision, experience. Then they understood that, okay, a divine child we are going to get. And from the day, they were already pure people. They were with more caution. They started to lead a very pure life, having a square meal and spending more and more time in contemplation of God, and spending time more and more, maybe with the bhajans or with the hearing scriptures, all these things. And finally, they had the divine child as Mother Shri Sharada Devi. See, Nara Rupa Dharam. Probably we don't understand otherwise. When we hear such divine incidents, then only it brings, or it strengthens our faith. It strengthens our Shraddha towards them. It gives a glimpse. It gives a glimpse, or it helps us to make them understand for our limited mind. So she herself has told very clearly that who is she? She is not an ordinary mortal. She is Mother Goddesses. She is Devi. She is Saraswati. She is Lakshmi or Durga. And why did she come? We came because we didn't have a choice, because we have to experience our fruits of action, which has been accumulated in our previous lives. And this life, based on our actions, results, our personality will be framed, character is framed. Based on that, we have got our desires, and in the due course of time, it keeps on changing, it keeps on getting added or whatever. We have got a lot of desires. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to become a doctor or engineer or a monk, or I want to achieve name and fame, power position, etc., etc. So we have got something to do, we have got something to achieve, we have got something to get. That's why we have taken birth, because of our desires and fruits of actions. Now, why did they take birth? He Jana Tapa Haram. Jana means people, human beings, irrespective of caste, creed, color, sex, country, religion. Jana, human being, all beings. Why not even only human beings? Even animals also we can take. Here beings. But here Jana means it is human beings. Tapa. Tapa means miseries, sorrows. Haram. To dispel. I mean, she is the dispeller of the distress of the people. She dispels the distress and the people's distress, people's worries, people's problems, people's unhappiness, whatnot. So we have got physical suffering, we have got mental suffering, we have got intellectual suffering with the doubts and confusions. We have got a emotional suffering because of our emotions, wrong emotions or disturbed emotions, whatnot. Then we have got spiritual suffering, ignorance. Who am I? I'm not knowing. I don't know, or I'm not able to experience it. That's why I'm suffering. That is the fundamental mistake. That's why we have taken birth time and again. The same thing has been told in the gospel by Christ or in the Old Testament so beautifully, that because Adam ate the forbidden apple, and that's why he sinned, and whole human race is sinned. What does it mean? It means we are all divine actually. We have forgotten our real nature. That is the reason. Again, we have to reach our real nature. That has been told beautifully, straightforward, in a simple way by Upanishads. That has been told in a story form in the Old Testament. That's what, according to my understanding. So that is the fundamental mistake, the spiritual ignorance of oneself. And otherwise, our Indian scriptures, Hindu scriptures, have classified all type of sufferings into three groups or three categories. One is Adi Bhautika, the second is Adi Daivika, the third is Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika means what? We get physical problems, we get problems from due to different people, different beings, or beasts, or animals, or whatnot. And Adi Daivika is we get problems from drought, famine, from extraterrestrial or from planets and from demigods or demons, we get problem. So all that problems can be categorized into Adidevika. Because of my own ignorance, because of my own attitudes, perceptions, actions, and of my mind and body, I am suffering. So such type of suffering is been termed or has been classified under Adhyatmika. When you take shelter at the feet of Holy Mother, that's why in the fourth line comes, Sharanagata Sevaka Toshakar. Sharanagata. One who takes shelter at the feet of Holy Mother. When one who takes shelter at the feet of the divine, what happens? Janatapahara. Such people's problems, such people's worries, such people's troubles are being removed, has been cancelled, nullified, destroyed. T&C apply, terms and conditions apply. What is that? We have to take shelter. Why we have to take shelter? Why that's terms and condition? Why? Because when we take shelter, we open our heart. We become a fit medium to receive the divine grace. That's why. Just for an example, I have got a mobile, an old mobile, which is only it was meant for 2G or 3G, say. Now 4G has come, 5G also has come in some countries. I may be subscribed to the telecompany, I pay some euros, and they also give. But I will not be able to make use of it. Why? Because my mobile is not fit. My mobile is not capable to receive the 5G spectrum of that frequency is not. It is only meant for only 2G or 3G. Though it is available, my mobile is not able to receive it. So similarly, even if the divine grace is available, until others we make fit ourselves, we will not be able to receive the divine grace. So that's why all of our sadhana is what? From the Gnana point of view, from the Gnana Yoga point of view, to remove the ignorance, not to attain liberation, to attain emancipation, to attain nirvana, to attain a reach realization. We all keep saying, but actually, strictly speaking, that is nothing but removal of ignorance, removal of wrong understanding, that's all. Because I am the self, that is there, self-evident. So similarly, God's grace is ever-flowing. Holy Mother herself has said that. Then why we are not able to experience, why we are not able to get it, or why we are not the recipient of the divine grace, if you ask? Because we have not made ourselves fit. So when we take shelter, when the Sharanagati, when we take shelter at the feet of Holy Mother or divine, any divine being or God or prophet or incarnation, then we will make ourselves fittest instrument so that we can receive the divine grace. Now, whoever receives such divine grace, we can understand that they are the fittest instruments. The same thing we can see in Master Mahasaya, Mahendranath Gupta, who is the author of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He became himself. He had to suicide. He wanted to suicide because of his family problems. He wanted to end his life. But at that given point of time, he was capable enough. He was fit enough. So knowingly or unknowingly, accidentally he came into contact with Sri Ramakrishna. In 2 or 3 meetings, he received the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, and even that the thinking of suicide itself went away, got evaporated. After 8 years, I think, after 8 or 10 years, they lost one son. Probably he was very young boy, a kid, even small boy, 5 years or 8 years or 10 years. Imagine, Master Mahasaya was also a little grief-stricken sorrow. But by the time he had heard enough teachings from Sri Ramakrishna, and he had received enough grace from Sri Ramakrishna, so that helped him to observe that root shock, and he was able to somehow cope up. But Mahendranath Gupta's wife, she was so much grief-stricken. She was unable to cope up. She was unable to bear. She thought she was behaving like a madcap. She had lost her mind that time. And she was about to end her life. How much ever he pursued it, he couldn't. Then he took her wife to Sri Ramakrishna, because already he had that problem, and that has been clear now. Sri Ramakrishna spoke with her, and his grace had fallen to a certain extent. So her mind was better now. And again, Sri Ramakrishna himself said, you go and meet Holy Mother Sharda Devi. And that lady went to Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Sharda Devi heard all her story. She felt very bad, and she gave a lot of consolation, and her divine grace, Holy Mother's grace, had fallen on this lady. So as a result, in no time, even for her, the idea of ending her life, suicide or to end her life, got evaporated, and she was able to bear that loss of losing her child, and she was able to lead the life blissfully, happily in due course of time. So when we take spirituality, when we take shelter at the feet of the divine, sometimes things may not be changed because of faith, because of our own actions, results. Things may not change, but we'll be able to withstand the shocks. We'll be able to withstand the problems. We'll be able to continue our life in the midst of difficulties, in the midst of adverse circumstances. That is the testimony for us that we are the recipient of divine grace. So we can see this. So it gives a lot of tremendous energy. It gives a tremendous strength for us to face the life, to face the society, to face the people. And you see, it's a funny story. I think probably it was Swami Gaurishwaranandaji, a senior monk of the order, who was the initiated disciple of Holy Mother. He had one of the boon from Holy Mother, that there will be no dearth of sleep for him. And he was so good in sleep. There's a funny story about him. In those days, in Jairambati, where she was living, in her birthplace, that is village, from there is a Koilpara. Probably it is 3 kilometers. From there, in the Koilpara, there is a small ashram. Even now also we have an ashram. There they used to grow some vegetables. The novices, brahmacharis, and the sadhus, they used to grow vegetables for ashram purpose, to maintain their food and kitchen. Some of the vegetables they also used to bring for Holy Mothers. So this Gaurishwaranji, then he was a young brahmachari. He used to bring the vegetables, keeping on his probably on the head. He used to carry the vegetables on his head, and he used to walk 3 kilometers. And it's the same road. It was not much rush in the olden days. We all imagine village road, muddy road. And it is same. So he knew, even consciously, unconsciously, where is up and where is down, where is a pit hole or whatnot. That's fine. There is no wonder in these things. But he used to carry that, and he used to sleep, it seems. His body used to start from Koilpara and used to reach Jairambati, but while traveling, while on the foot, he used to carry the vegetables on his head and used to sleep, it seems. He had that great great possibility. Definitely for us, how it is possible? If you close your eyes and put 10 steps, 11th step, we don't know whether we'll be where. But how can he walk for 3 kilometers and without any problem, how can he come? This is the blessings of Divine Mother. So he used to sleep, it seems. And when he was old enough, once he went to Swami Madhavanandji. Madhavanandji was that time probably was the president of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission. Again, he is also a spiritual luminary. He is a realized person. He has realized the self, no doubt. So this Gaurishwaranji went to the Swami Madhavanandji and said, Maharaj, Swamiji, nowadays I'm not able to get sleep. Madhavanji knew that he had a boon from Holy Mother Sharda Devi, that he will never have any dearth of sleep. Madhavanji was startled, was astonished to hear this. What? Are you not getting sleep? Is your health is okay? Gaurishwaranji nodded his head and said, yes, my health is okay. Then why are you not getting sleep? Are you worried? Have you got any problem? Or have you got any challenges or any? Gaurishwaranji said, no. Then Madhavanji was unable to understand. Then what can be the reason for him not to get sleep? Then Madhavanji said, okay, my dear, please explain me, why are you not able to get sleep? The Gaurishwaranji said that, look, earlier, the moment I used to rest my head on the pillow, immediately I used to sleep. Immediately I used to go to deep sleep. Now I had to count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to count. Then by that time I will get into deep sleep. That's why I'm feeling disturbed. That's why I came. Maybe out of, what you say, childishness, or out of childlike nature, you might have come and discussed with Madhavanji. Madhavanji laughed and he said, okay, that's okay, go. See, even he got a blessing from Holy Mother saying that he will never have any dearth of sleep. So like that, it is very difficult for us to understand what is the divine grace. Even I think Sharat Maharaj, Swami Shantivratananda had said once, there is a strict rule in our monastery about getting up, sleeping, and about our spiritual practices, all these things. In the olden days, the monks, the earlier, the first generation monks were very strict. And some of the sadhus who were the disciples of Holy Mother, sometimes they had relaxed in their spiritual practices, it seems. So instead of getting up at 3, probably they used to get up past 3 or 4, something like that. So some among them, the brother monks, fellow brother monks, or novices, whomever, so they went to Swami Shantivratananda. He was the general secretary, first general secretary of Ramakrishna Mission. He said, look, there are few monks who are not doing their spiritual practices properly. You all say for us that you should get up at such and such a time, you should say it, and you should do such a amount of meditation or japam, all these things, but they're not doing, and you are not asking them, you are not questioning them. How is it that? Swami Shantivratananda said, it seems, look, all of them they are all initiated disciples of Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Holy Mother Sharda Devi herself, she has taken the responsibility of them. That's why I am no one to comment on that. See, that was the faith Swami Shantivratananda had about Holy Mother and her grace. He had firm conviction that because they have received the spiritual initiation from Holy Mother Sharda Devi herself, whatever they do or they don't do, it doesn't matter, because Holy Mother is there to take care of their spiritual growth. Because when Holy Mother, Mahamaya, Divine Mother herself has taken someone's responsibility, then what will happen? What can happen for them? Their life is assured, rest is assured that they will have moksha, they will have liberation, they will have nirvana at any time, or at the fag end of the life at least. So Swami Shantivratananda was well aware. See, these are small incidents, but when we think deeply, we'll be able to understand the birth. Swami Shantivratananda was able to say that because they are the disciples of Holy Mother, I don't want to question, I will not go to question, I'm not fit, I'm not capable person to question that. See what respect and what a faith he had on Holy Mother. And he knew who is that Holy Mother. So these are the few instances where we can understand something, that who is that Holy Mother Sharda Devi, Divine Mother Sharda Devi. So once we understand this, our devotion, Shraddha, should increase towards them, so that we'll be able to progress in our spiritual life. So may Holy Mother Sharda Devi bless all of us, so that we shall have that unswearing faith and devotion towards her, so that we shall reach her and we shall live the happiest life, spiritual life, blissful life. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.